There is clearly something up with Ben Simmons, make no mistakes about it. Whether it's being nervous about getting fouled and having to shoot free throws, whether he's nervous about re-injuring his back, or he's legitimately still got a back injury in general and just been playing through it, there's something we don't know about and it's being hidden. He missed the Nets game against OKC on January 15th due to lingering back issues, and in the Nets game against the Warriors this past Sunday, Ben walked right off the court on his own and laid down under the baseline, stretching his back out, and it felt bizarre, at least to me. If you've watched my other videos, then you know I've been very charitable and patient with Ben Simmons, but something's clearly up unless he just randomly lost his ability to play like the player he was in Philadelphia. And today, we're going to talk about Ben Simmons and potential trades for the Brooklyn Nets, with or without Simmons in said trade packages. Also, if you guys enjoy the NBA or just the Brooklyn Nets, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. So in the Nets' last game on Thursday night against the Detroit Pistons, Ben Simmons left the game with knee soreness, and I saw many people saying they believed he faked the injury to exit the game as he got hit in the eye, yet the team reported it was knee soreness, and you can be the judge of that on your own. However, in 19 minutes of play, Ben Simmons had 0 points, 1 rebound, and 7 assists, so not great by any means. And in the Nets game against his former team, the 76ers, Simmons had 12 points to go along with 5 rebounds and 5 assists, and a lot of that had to do with the aggressive third quarter that Simmons had. Go figure, as his lack of taking shots and being aggressive has been his biggest issue. And Ben even got benched late in the fourth quarter of the game against the Sixers as the Nets tied the game, then cut the lead down to 2 points in the final seconds of the game. So it seemed like the Nets were better off without him, or at least Nets head coach Jacque Vaughn believed they were, and they'd be best closing the game without him on the court. Then in the Nets game on Sunday night against the Warriors that I mentioned before, Ben had 7 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. So once again, not great for a player who's owed $35 million a year. Crazy enough though, if we ignore the inflated contract, these stats are fine enough when Durant isn't hurt and the Nets are able to operate with the KD and Kyrie duo on the floor, as Simmons is essentially the fifth option on the court at that time, who can rebound, pass, and play solid defense. The problem has been though that the KD-Kyrie duo hasn't been able to be out there for more than 2 full games this month. Another stat that I've talked about before is how the Nets are 5-0 when Ben Simmons attempts 9 or more shots in a game, further showing they simply just need him to be aggressive. And as mentioned before, the aggression he showed in the third quarter of the Nets' loss against the 76ers the other night was important and a great example of that, and it did in fact help the Nets cut down the Sixers' lead. In terms of trades, I believe Simmons will remain a Brooklyn Net for the rest of the season. However, we've heard rumors of the Nets having interest in big men Naz Reid and Serge Ibaka, and while both men would be very solid acquisitions for the Nets, and more so Naz Reid, due to his athleticism, speed, defensive ability, as well as his ability to stretch the floor at the 5 position, you have to remember both guys would also probably cut into Ben Simmons' playing time. As I mentioned in my past videos, Ben Simmons as a small ball 5 seems to be the Nets' best option, as he showed an aggression against some very solid big men, including most notably Steven Adams in the Nets' win against the Grizzlies on November 20th of this past year, when he started at the 5 position against Adams as he attempted more than 9 attempts. Once again, go figure, showing off his aggression as he went 11 for 13 from the field with 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. Yet, for the most part, he's not been that aggressive as shown throughout this video, and that's why if he does get traded come the deadline, which I doubt happens, or if his minutes do get decreased as a result of a trade deadline deal including other players, then I won't be surprised whatsoever, and it'd probably be deserved as he hasn't helped the team much at all as of late. The most ideal trade acquisition for the Nets would be Myles Turner, and I've talked about it quite a bit in my previous videos. However, it seems like the Nets wouldn't have enough to give up for Myles Turner without throwing in some key rotation pieces, and I'm not too sure that trade would go down, as with just under 2 weeks until the trade deadline, we haven't heard any news on a Myles Turner trade with any team in general, as well as the Nets being interested in Turner is not something that we've heard. But the Nets are apparently going to be very active on the trade market, as reports have shown, and guys like Jared Vanderbilt, Kelly Olynyk, and Mo Bamba have been mentioned as potential trade acquisitions, alongside the men we talked about the Nets reportedly having interest in earlier, Naz Reid and Serge Ibaka. In closing, as a Nets fan, I just hope that we see the old Ben Simmons show up or come back to life for this team at some point, and hopefully it's ASAP, but I don't see that happening, at least not anytime soon. And in terms of trade acquisitions, it feels like Vanderbilt and Reid are the Nets' most likely acquisitions, as I don't see the Bucks making a trade with the Nets and helping them land Ibaka. I'm not sure if the Jazz will trade Olynyk, plus Olynyk has dealt with an injury lately, and I'm not too sure if we see Mo Bamba moved at all, as it seems the Magic might just want to keep him around, but the Nets are kind of falling fast as recent losses to OKC, Detroit, and the Spurs are simply embarrassing, even though they got a nice win like their win against the Warriors, and the Nets also need to get Kevin Durant back as soon as possible without rushing him back, or just make more moves to get help for the time being, and of course, help for once Durant returns and onward in the season and the playoffs. The Nets need to salvage this assumed next week and a half until Durant returns, and I want to know what you guys think about it. Can the Nets hold down the fort and get back to that team that got 18 wins in a 20-game stretch prior to Durant's MCL injury, or is this the same old Nets getting hit with bad luck and meeting their ultimate demise? Let me know about that or anything else we talked about in this video down below in the comments. If you like this video, then make sure to give it a like as it helps out a lot, and if you're new to the channel and enjoy the Nets or the NBA, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That way you stay up to date with all the newest content on my channel, and I definitely have some content about the Nets as well as some other teams planned to release soon. Anyway, thank you guys though for watching. I'm SCJ and I am out. Peace.